pressures of being a man, it's hard. It's very difficult to describe it in one thing.
It takes a long time to feel like you're a man. You don't just finish school and you're a man now.
You get confused because you're wondering, so what's the right way? How to be a man?
I never really thought about what my role as a man was. It probably wasn't until you get a bit older.
I grew up in a small country town, so masculinity was through farmers, through my dad, through this local football club.
For me, I didn't really grow up with male role models. How I learned about masculinity, I'd say, is through movies.
Watching those shows, it was always like the man was the hero, the man was the guy there to save the day.
There was this really default assumption that men are fine. And if there are problems, you're going to suck it up, you're going to crack on. So kind of almost nothing to see here. I mean, there's always been something to see here.
Just throughout my whole entire life, we've been thrown in what masculinity should look like. You're constantly fighting a never-ending battle with everyone, but more so yourself.
As a kid, I didn't cry. It was almost as if it was a weakness. You know what I mean?
You have these expectations as a male that, some things are soft. In them situations, a lot of the time, you side with the boys because you want to be part of the crew.
I did not have any relationship with women. There was a moment in my life, I think I did end up falling down a pipeline where it was a lot of incel men, people who are spreading hate in the guise of help.
I've noticed that people that go down these rabbit holes tend to have something else going on in their personal life. It may be a family thing or a friend thing or something they've been through, where this account, this website, whatever, kind of was like maybe a place of refuge for them.
I felt like I couldn't be friends with women because they didn't get it. It felt like it was me against the world.
If you're watching 100 reels on how to be a masculine man, you're gonna emulate that. You're gonna mirror their thoughts and their ideals of what a man should be.
You have to go out there and continue to fight until you win. And in today's world, you're never going to win because there's always someone out there bigger, stronger, smarter, quicker, richer.
When you open up social media, it's like, you can't get XYZ unless you have XYZ. You're not fully a man unless you got 6 figures. You're a man if you got multiple women in your life. I met a few young boys who are 18, who just stressing it out. They're like, man, I gotta make 100K by next year.
Sometimes it makes me feel a bit less of myself. I went through a pretty bad state of depression. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know who I was.
I wasn't really checking myself, and I wasn't really seeing how my actions would affect someone else.
I think you get to an age where you sort of say, I don't want to wear any masks anymore. And I think that is so hard when you're young and you have people around you giving you these ideas of what you should be doing.
Masculinity was always in the back of my mind, but it wasn't until I became a dad where I realized a lot of the things that I grew up with, I wanted that to stop with me. And then obviously, when my kids have kids, that doesn't exist.
I feel like I had to do a lot of unlearning to be able to kind of feel comfortable enough to be vulnerable and say actually, yeah, I'm really struggling. Well, yeah, sucking it up wasn't really working. It wasn't really working.
I think that a lot of guys have what they call that fixed mindset of just winning and losing. It doesn't matter. It's room for you to grow.
I talk with myself a lot and think 3-4 steps ahead. The imprint you leave behind, the impact you leave behind on people. People
in my family and my friends still sort of see me as the old school sort of manly man, but I feel that I found a balance, you know what I mean? You can still be an emotional person because I cry with my daughters.
There's been so much focus on, what does it mean to be a woman in all these different ways? And maybe that in a way is just highlighted even more that's the conversation that we just haven't been having about what it means to be a man.
If all these pressures about what a man should be weren't existing anymore, I think without it, we'd have a lot more men who would be happy. I think we have a lot more men who could express themselves, a lot of men who people would feel safe around to express themselves. I think we'd stop comparing ourselves to each other. We'd stop comparing ourselves to the past. I think we would just look after ourselves and look after others.